2026, you have to treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. You have to treat yourself with the same respect you give to total strangers. And part of that respect is protecting your energy from the snakes. I want you to imagine you are walking through the woods and a snake bites you. What do? Do you chase the snake into the woods to kill it? Do you try to find out why it bit you? Do you scream at the snake? No. If you chase the snake, the poison circulates faster and you die. You don't chase the snake. You heal the wound, you get the medical attention you need to save yourself. But so many of you are chasing snakes. Someone disrespects you at work? That's a snake bite. You spend all week venting about it, plotting revenge, stewing in anger? You are chasing the snake. Someone leaves a nasty comment on your post? Snake bite. You spend an hour writing a reply? You are chasing the snake. A relationship ends? Snake bite. You stalk their profile to see if they are happy without you. You are chasing the snake into the deep, dark woods, and while you are chasing them, you are dying. In 2026, we do not chase snakes. We heal, we move on. We understand that revenge is a distraction. The best revenge is not destroying them. The best revenge is building yourself until they become irrelevant. It's getting to a place where you don't even care if they are watching because you are so consumed with your own elevation. This brings us back to the work, the real work, the boring work. We live in a culture that is obsessed with the outcome but allergic to the process. Everyone wants the championship ring, but nobody wants the 4 a.m. practice. Everyone wants the viral moment, but nobody wants the years of obscurity. But let me tell you about the extra 22 seconds. There was a runner who had a ritual. No matter how long the run was, whether it was 30 minutes or an hour, he would always run for exactly 22 seconds more than he planned. Why? Because that little extra, that tiny push when your body wants to stop, that is where the growth lives. You have to be willing to do the things that don't scale. You have to be willing to be the architect of systems that work without you needing to be the center of attention. The most successful people, the introverts who run the world quietly, they don't just rely on charisma, they rely on preparation. They walk into a room and they are 3 moves ahead because while everyone else was talking, they were studying. They weaponize preparation. When you are silent, you can hear things others miss. You become dangerous because you are observing. In a heated meeting, while everyone is shouting, the person who wins is usually the one who stayed quiet, took notes, read the body language, and then spoke one sentence that cut through the noise. That is the power you are building. You are turning listening into a strategic advantage. But you have to accept that this path is going to feel lonely, and that is okay. You have to reframe loneliness as solitude. Loneliness is the poverty of self. Solitude is the richness of self. Great minds, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Newton, they didn't just tolerate being alone. They used it as a competitive advantage. They scheduled thinking time. When was the last time you just sat and thought? No phone, no music, no podcast, just you and your brain, solving the problems of your life. If you can't sit in a room alone for 15 minutes without feeling anxious, you are not free. You are a slave to stimulation. You need to break that chain. You need to adopt what the Stoics called the view from above. When you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like your problems are crushing you, close your eyes and zoom out. See yourself in your room, then see your house in the neighborhood, then the city, then the country, then the planet, spinning in the vast darkness of space. From that perspective, that email that annoyed you doesn't matter. That person who didn't text you back doesn't matter. It shrinks your ego and it expands your perspective. It reminds you that you are part of something massive and your petty grievances are just dust. This allows you to practice what is called cognitive distancing. You realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the thinker of your thoughts. Just because a thought enters your head, I'm not good enough, they're laughing at me, doesn't mean you have to agree with it. You can look at that thought and say, that is just an impression. It is not the truth. You have to stop letting your emotions drive the car. Your emotions should be passengers, not the driver. They can give you information, hey, we're feeling sad right now, but they don't get to grab the steering wheel and drive you off a cliff. You decide. You use reason. The Stoics believe that destructive emotions are just the result of bad judgments. If you change the judgment, you change the emotion. So when you face a setback in 2026, and you are not going to fall apart, you are going to look at it and ask, is this within my control? If it's not, you accept it. You don't fight the weather. You don't scream at the rain. You put on a raincoat and you keep walking. If it is within your control, you get to work. That is the dichotomy of control. It is the secret to an unshakable mind. And let's talk about the people around you, because as you change, they will get uncomfortable. They will say, you've changed, and you should look them in the eye and say, I hope so, because if you haven't changed, you're dying. Growth is uncomfortable for those who refuse to grow. Your evolution highlights their stagnation. You might have to love some people from a distance. You might have to realize that some people are only in your life because you are useful to them, not because they value you. Absence is a powerful teacher. Sometimes, the only way to show someone your worth is to remove your presence. If you walk away and they don't fight for you, they didn't value you, and that hurts, but it is the truth, and the truth will set you free. Don't be afraid to be the villain in their version of the story, if it means being the hero in yours. You have to set boundaries. A boundary is not a wall, it is a door that you lock. You decide who gets a key, and in 2026, you are changing the locks. You are going to stop explaining yourself. Explaining is a trauma response. It's a habit from childhood when you needed to justify your existence to adults. You are grown now. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your goals, your diet, your sleep schedule, or your ambition. When you stop explaining, you take back your power. No is a complete sentence. You are going to build habits that nobody knows about. You are going to wake up early, not to post a picture of your watch, but to get a head start on the enemy, and the enemy is the old you. You are going to read books that nobody knows you are reading. You are going to build skills that nobody knows you are building. You are going to become a ghost. And I know part of you wants the credit. Part of you wants to say, look how hard I'm working. That's your ego. Kill it. The dopamine hit you get from telling people your goals actually tricks your brain into feeling like you've already achieved them. It reduces the likelihood that you will actually do the work. Keep that energy bottled up. Let the pressure build. Let that internal pressure become the fuel that drives you through the fatigue, because there will be fatigue. There will be days when you question everything. There will be days when the dark room feels more like a prison than a sanctuary. In those moments, you have to rely on discipline, not motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a command. Motivation says, I don't feel like it. Discipline says, do it anyway. You have to fall in love with the boredom of consistency. The compound effect is real. Small, smart choices, repeated consistently over time, equal radical difference. It's not the one heroic workout. It's the 300 workouts you did when you didn't want to. It's not the one viral video. It's the hundreds of hours of practice that made you good enough to make that video. We are talking about a total restructuring of your mind. You are going to stop being a consumer and start being a producer. Most people wake up and immediately give their brain to the world. They check texts, emails, social media. They are reacting. In 2026, you will not react. You will create. You will take the first hour of the day for yourself. You will claim your territory before the world tries to invade it. You need to understand that nobody is coming to save you. No white knight, no lottery ticket, no magic government program. It is you against you. The mirror test is the only test that matters. When you brush your teeth at night, can you look yourself in the eye and say, I gave it everything today? Or do you have to look away because you know you cut corners? You know you took the easy way out. Make 2026 the year you stop looking away. You are building a legacy. A legacy isn't just money. It's the example you set. It's the proof that it is possible to change. You are breaking generational curses by simply refusing to be the same person your parents were, by refusing to pass down the same trauma and the same excuses. And listen, you are going to fail. Let's get that out of the way. You are going to stumble, but failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the success. Thomas Edison didn't fail. He found 10,000 ways that didn't work. You have to be willing to look foolish. You have to be willing to be a beginner. The amateur practices until they get it right. The professional practices until they can't get it wrong. You are becoming a professional at your own life. This is about resilience. It's about being the person who can get hit and keep moving forward. Dry Creek Dwayne talked about how we pick up coping mechanisms from our parents, putting on a fake smile while screaming on the inside. You have to break that. You have to be real with yourself. If you are hurting, admit it, process it, don't bury it, but don't let it stop you. Use it. Pain is fuel. There is a concept called amor fati, the love of fate. It means you don't just tolerate what happens to you, you love it, you embrace it. You lose your job? Good. Opportunity to find a better one? You get injured? Good. Opportunity to train your mind while your body heals. This mindset makes you invincible, because if you can find the benefit in the tragedy, life cannot defeat you. You are going to move with quiet confidence, not the loud insecurity masking arrogance that shouts, "Look at me," but the deep grounded certainty of an oak tree. The oak tree doesn't scream at the storm, it just stands. Its roots go deep. You are growing your roots now, and roots grow in the dark. So stop rushing. Stop trying to hack the process. Trust the timing of your life. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything is accomplished. The sun rises when it's time. The flower blooms when it's ready. You are on your own timeline. Stop looking at someone else's highlight reel and comparing it to your behind the scenes. You don't know their story. You don't know what they sacrificed or what they inherited. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Focus. Tunnel vision. The horse has blinders on for a reason, so it doesn't get spooked by what's on the left and right. So it focuses only on the finish line. Put your blinders on. The news, distraction. The celebrity gossip, distraction. The drama in the group chat, distraction. Delete it, block it, ignore it. If it doesn't make you money, make you stronger, or make you happy, it is a parasite. Cut it off. You have to be ruthless with your time. Time is the one resource you can never get back. You can get more money. You can get more friends. You cannot get more time. Every second you spend arguing with a fool is a second of your life you threw in the trash. Winners make time, losers make excuses. So as you step into this next phase, I want you to carry this mantra with you. Nobody cares. Work harder. It sounds harsh, but it is liberating. Nobody cares about your problems? Good. That means you don't have to perform for them. Nobody cares about your excuses? Good. That means the only way out is through. You are the author of this book. You are holding the pen. 2025 might have been a chapter of struggle, of confusion, of noise, but 2026 is the chapter where the protagonist goes into the wilderness and comes back a warrior. It is the chapter of the training montage. But this montage isn't 3 minutes long with cool music. It is 365 days of unglamorous, gritty, silent work. Are you ready to write that chapter? You have to decide right now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lie. I'll start Monday is the mantra of the failure. You start now. You start by putting down the phone after this video. You start by cleaning your room. You start by sitting in silence for 10 minutes. You start by keeping one small promise to yourself. Because if you can keep one promise, you can keep two. And if you can keep two, you can build a reputation with yourself. And once you trust yourself, once you like yourself, you become dangerous. The world is going to get louder. The distractions are going to get more aggressive. The pressure to conform is going to get heavier. But you are going to be the eye of the storm, calm, focused, silent. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them sleep. You have work to do. And let's be honest about what that work actually looks like. We have this cinematic idea of success, the montage, the fast cars, the flashing lights. But the reality of the work is that it is incredibly boring. It is mundane. It is repetitive. And this is where most people break. They break because they are addicted to the thrill, but they cannot survive the silence of the routine. They want the championship, but they don't want the practice. But I want to tell you about the power of just a little bit more. There is a concept called the extra 22 seconds. It comes from a runner who had a ritual. No matter how long his run was, no matter how exhausted he was, when he hit his target time, he didn't stop. He ran for exactly 22 seconds more. Why? Because that tiny window, that little extra push when your body is screaming enough, that is where you break the mental barrier. You see, 2026 isn't going to be won by the massive leaps you take once a month. It's going to be won in those 22 seconds. It's going to be won in the last rep. It's going to be won when you stare at a blank screen or a pile of paperwork and you want to walk away, but you stay for 5 more minutes. That is where you callous your mind. That is where you build the armor. You are expanding your limits by pushing just past the artificial line you drew in your head. You have to realize that your stopping points are almost always mental constructions, not physical realities. You are capable of so much more than you think, but you never find out because you stop the moment it gets uncomfortable. And in this silence, you need to stop acting like the loudest person in the room is the one winning. We live in a culture that worships the extrovert, the showman, the person who can talk a big game. But let me tell you about the quiet ones, the successful introverts. They don't win by shouting. They win by building systems that work even when they aren't there. While everyone else is relying on charisma and hype to get through the day, the quiet builders are creating processes. They are automating. They are documenting. They are building a machine that runs on competence, not on ego. You need to become an architect of your own life in 2026. Stop trying to rally the troops with speeches and start building a daily system that makes your success inevitable. Look at Satya Nadella at Microsoft. He didn't turn that company around by being the loudest guy in the room. He did it through systematic cultural change, through frameworks, through structure. That is the energy you need. You need to weaponize your preparation. When you walk into a room, whether it's a negotiation, a job interview, or a date, you should be 3 moves ahead, because while they were talking, you were studying. While they were posting, you were researching. Preparation is the great equalizer. It allows you to compete on different terms. You don't need to dominate the conversation if you can drop the single insight that changes the entire outcome, because you did the deep work beforehand. Silence allows you to hear what isn't being said. It allows you to read the room. It allows you to pick up on the hesitation in someone's voice or the shift in their body language. That is intelligence gathering. That is a superpower. When you are always talking, you are giving away your position. When you are silent, you are fortifying it. But to do this, to truly lock in, you have to let go of the victim mentality. This is the heavy stuff right here. You have to understand that your life is your fault. And I know bad things.
Let's continue watching.
Your boss, your ex, the economy, you are handing them the keys to your life. You are admitting that they have more power over your happiness than you do. You have to take the keys back. You have to say, this mess might not be of my making, but the cleanup is entirely my job. That is empowerment. That is freedom. You can't control the hand you were dealt, but you can control how you play it. And maybe you feel like you don't have enough to start. Maybe you feel like you're broken, like you're missing pieces. Let me tell you about a song called Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. It's a masterpiece, right? But the story behind it is what matters. The writer was going through a divorce, living in a hotel, depressed, having writer's block, and he had a guitar with broken strings. 2 strings were broken. He didn't have the perfect studio. He didn't have the perfect life. He had broken tools and a broken heart, and he wrote one of the greatest songs of a generation using just the strings he had left. Lokshi, that is your life right now. You are waiting for your guitar to be fixed. You are waiting for the full set of strings. You are waiting for the money to be right, for the mood to be right. But you have to play the music with what you have. You have to make a masterpiece out of the patchwork of your pain. 2 lines and a broken guitar were enough for him. What you have right now, your breath, your mind, your 24 hours is enough for you. It is enough to start. The hero isn't the one who has everything. The hero is the one who moves forward with what they have. Look at Tiger Woods. I don't care if you like golf or not. Look at the mentality. After the surgeries, the scandals, the car crash, the pain, he showed up to the Masters. He didn't play his best game ever, but he said something profound. I've given myself a chance. That is all you are doing by showing up every day, by staying silent and doing the work. You are giving yourself a chance. You are putting yourself in the arena. If you don't show up, you have zero chance. If you stay in bed, you have zero chance. But if you drag yourself up and face the day, even if you're limping, you have a chance to turn it around. And you need to trust the timing of this chance. We are so impatient. We want the Amazon Prime delivery version of success. We want to click a button and have the dream life arrive tomorrow. But nature doesn't work like that. Does a tree panic because it hasn't grown 10 feet in a week? No. It trusts the process. It digs its roots deep into the dark soil. For a long time, nothing happens above the surface. If you were looking at the ground, you'd think the seed was dead. But underneath, there is a massive network of roots being built to support the weight of the tree that is coming. You are in the rooting phase. 2026 is your rooting phase. You are building the foundation. Do not dig up the seed to see if it's growing. You will kill it. Trust that the work is compounding. Trust that the silence is feeding your soul. Trust that the discipline is strengthening your character. The bamboo tree spends 5 years growing underground with no visible sign of life. And then in 6 weeks, it shoots up 90 feet. You are the bamboo. You are growing in the dark so you can rise in the light. So stop looking at other people's timelines. Stop looking at your friend who just got promoted or the influencer who just bought a house. You don't know their story. You don't know what season they are in. You are in your season, and your season right now is focus. Your season is silence. Your season is preparing for a harvest that they can't even imagine yet. You have to be willing to be misunderstood during this time. People will say you're distant. They'll say you're acting weird. Let them. You are weaning yourself off the drug of validation. You are breaking the addiction to attention. It is a sobering process. Sobriety from attention is hard because you feel invisible. But in that invisibility, you find your density. You find your weight. You become a person of substance, not just a person of image. Imagine 2026 as a year where you become a ghost to the distraction and a servant to your purpose. Imagine waking up with such clarity that you don't even reach for your phone because you already know what your mission is. Imagine going to bed at night, not with the anxiety of what did I miss, but with the exhaustion of I gave everything. This is about resilience. It is about Amal Fati, loving your fate, not just enduring the hard days, but embracing them as the fire that forges the steel. If you lose your job, good. It's a chance to pivot. If you get your heart broken, good. It's a chance to learn self-reliance. If you fail, good. It's data. It's feedback. It's the curriculum of your greatness. You have to flip the script. The obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. You are building a mind that is untouchable, a mind that observes but does not react, a mind that feels emotion but is not enslaved by it. You are practicing the view from above, zooming out to see that your problems are small and your potential is infinite. You are practicing the dichotomy of control, focusing only on your own actions and letting the rest of the world spin however it wants. And let me tell you, when you finally emerge, when you finally step out of this season of silence, it will be shocking. Not because you tried to shock them, but because they never saw the work. They never saw the 4 o'clock AMs. They never saw the broken strings you played on. They never saw the roots growing in the dark. They will call it luck. They will call it talent. But you will know the truth. You will know that it was the silence. It was the focus. It was the refusal to quit when it would have been easy. It was the decision to bet on yourself when the odds said fold. So here is my final challenge to you. As we approach 2026, I want you to make a vow of silence. Not that you won't speak, but that you won't speak about what you are going to do. You will only speak through your results. You will take all that energy you use to broadcast your life, and you will channel it into building your life. Close your mouth, open your mind, get to work. The world is noisy. Be the quiet in the storm. The world is frantic. Be the stillness. The world is fake. Be the real thing. Focus on yourself. Stay silent and watch how your life changes. Watch how everything falls into place. Watch how you become the person you were always meant to be. The time for talking is over. The time for becoming has begun. Are you ready?
So that's it. That's what we have today. Today's video is very powerful. Please, if you watch it up to this point and you know that you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, like it and share for me. Thank you very much for your lovely support. My returning subscribers, guys, I cannot take you guys for granted. I really appreciate you all. This channel is all about motivation, how we can do to heal each other, how we can do to come out with a strong and focus with our brain, focus on our mind, focus on ourselves, without stop thinking about others, because how you are thinking with them, they are not thinking that way with you. They are not having that clear brain, clear mind that you are thinking about them. For them, they are not thinking that way. So you also have to do what? You have to stop thinking about them. All right, guys, I love you all.